The Italian Mafia. A complex legacy of crime, culture, and power. The Italian Mafia is an infamous and complex phenomenon, deeply woven into the fabric of Italian history, society, and culture. Known for its secrecy, power, and ruthlessness, the Mafia has left an indelible mark on both Italy and the world at large. Though it has been romanticized in films and literature, its real-life impact is anything but glamorous, as it involves organized crime, violence, and corruption that have devastated communities for over a century. A brief history of the Italian Mafia. The term «mafia» is typically associated with the criminal organizations originating in Sicily, though similar groups have existed throughout Italy for centuries. The roots of the Mafia can be traced to the 19th century, though some historians suggest that its origins date back even further. The rise of the Mafia in Sicily is largely tied to the island's social, political, and economic climate, which was rife with instability and inequality. In the 1800s, Sicily was struggling under foreign occupation, and there was little law enforcement or authority to maintain order. The Mafia began as a loose network of people offering protection to landowners and businesses in exchange for payment. Over time, these groups grew more powerful, establishing dominance in various industries, including agriculture, construction, and, eventually, the drug trade. While the Mafia's operations started as small-scale protection rackets, their influence began to grow exponentially throughout the 20th century. This was due in large part to the Italian government's inability to effectively combat organized crime. Politicians, law enforcement officials, and business leaders were often complicit in or directly involved with the Mafia, further entrenching their power. The major Mafia groups. Though the Mafia is a term used interchangeably for various Italian criminal organizations, it's important to note that there are several distinct Mafia factions in Italy, each with its own history and operations. Cosa Nostra, Sicilian Mafia. Cosa Nostra is perhaps the most famous Mafia organization and is closely associated with Sicily. It is structured hierarchically, with bosses at the top and soldiers carrying out illicit activities. Cosa Nostra became notorious worldwide during the 20th century, particularly in the United States, where Italian immigrants brought their Mafia traditions. The Mafia became involved in a range of criminal enterprises, including extortion, money laundering, and drug trafficking. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, anti-Mafia efforts gained momentum, especially under the leadership of prosecutors like Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino. Both men were assassinated in 1992, becoming martyrs in the fight against organized crime. 'Ndrangheta, Calabrian Mafia. The 'Ndrangheta originates in Calabria, the region at the toe of Italy's boot. While less well known than Cosa Nostra, the 'Ndrangheta is considered one of the most powerful and dangerous criminal organizations in the world today. The group has a reputation for being extremely secretive and is believed to control much of the European drug trade. Unlike the Sicilian Mafia, the 'Ndrangheta operates through tightly knit family networks, often bound by blood relations. Its activities have spread beyond Italy, establishing roots in countries such as Canada, Australia, and the United States. Camorra, Neapolitan Mafia. The Camorra is based in Naples and is one of Italy's oldest criminal organizations. It is decentralized, with various clans competing for control of illegal activities. The Camorra's reach extends to a wide range of illicit endeavors, including counterfeiting, human trafficking, and the management of waste disposal. Unlike Cosa Nostra or the 'Ndrangheta, the Camorra has a less rigid hierarchical structure, often resulting in internal conflict and violence between clans. Nevertheless, it remains a significant force in southern Italy and continues to exert a major influence on local and regional economies. 4. Sacra Corona Unita, Puglian Mafia. Based in the region of Puglia, the Sacra Corona Unita is a relatively newer mafia organization compared to its Sicilian, Calabrian, and Neapolitan counterparts. 4. It emerged in the 1980s and is known for its ties to drug trafficking, arms smuggling, and organized extortion. 4. Though its influence has not reached the same level as other mafias, it has established itself as an important player in Italy's criminal landscape. The Mafia's cultural influence beyond its criminal activities, the Mafia has had a significant cultural impact, both in Italy and internationally. Over the years, the Mafia has been portrayed in countless movies, TV shows, and novels, contributing to a certain romanticized image of the Mafia as a family-oriented organization with its own set of codes and values. The Godfather trilogy, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, is perhaps the most iconic film series that portrays the Mafia. It depicts a world of power, loyalty, and betrayal, even as it explores the darker realities of organized crime. While many people are drawn to these stories, it's crucial to remember that these portrayals are fictionalized and do not capture the full brutality and damage caused by the real-life Mafia. Mafia-related culture has also seeped into other forms of media, from TV series like The Sopranos to literature such as Mario Puzo's The Sicilian. This constant portrayal of Mafia figures as powerful yet tragic characters has made the Mafia a pervasive element of popular culture, often blurring the line between fact and fiction. The fight against the Mafia has been an ongoing battle for decades, with varying levels of success. In the 1980s and 1990s, Italy launched major anti-mafia operations in response to the rising violence and corruption. The assassination of leading anti-mafia figures Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino in 1992 sparked national outrage and led to increased public support for anti-mafia efforts. Despite these efforts, the Mafia remains deeply entrenched in certain areas of Italy, particularly in the south. Its influence reaches into politics, business, and the media, making it difficult to completely eradicate. However, recent years have seen some major successes in breaking down Mafia networks, with hundreds of high-ranking Mafia bosses arrested and sentenced to prison. The Italian Mafia is a complex and multifaceted institution, combining elements of organized crime, family loyalty, and cultural influence. Its legacy is one of violence, corruption, and control, but also a testament to the resilience of those fighting against it. While there has been significant progress in dismantling the Mafia in Italy, its impact can still be felt today, both within Italy and internationally. Understanding the Mafia is not just about studying crime. It's about understanding the socio-economic conditions that allowed these organizations to thrive and the ongoing efforts to fight them. As Italy continues to evolve, the struggle to eradicate Mafia influence remains a critical part of the country's future.